Okay folks, my name's Kenny Gardner. This morning we were in Rudersburg for the final round of the World Sidecar Cross Championship for 2019, and as some of you may be aware, Luke Van Dera, who's been filming and making sidecar cross movies for the past 10 years, announced earlier this year that he would be stopping basically come the end of this particular season. Before we get on further, I'd like to say this is my idea basically to get a bit of an understanding from Luke, obviously what got him into this, and obviously he's going to move on to other things, and to try and get an understanding of what he's going to do, and also to personally thank him for bringing sidecar cross into people's front rooms. First of all, Luke, what got you into this in the first place? Why sidecar cross? And certainly, obviously, you had an interest in your movies, but why sidecar cross?
When I was young, I went to solo racing with guys from, like everybody in the motocross, with guy that race, you go watch him, and that's how you. But I had a hobby. I always liked to take pictures. Even when I was 18, filming, that was not the option. That was in those days. That was not like now. You can erase everything with the digital time, and then I knew guys from he stopped, and other guys started, and they were young and they would ride sidecars, and that's how I got into sidecars, with small federation, taking pictures of them, filming them, and then I always went to Neeruteren, Genk, Belgium GPs, but then I went with my girlfriend to other countries, like the first one in Bruges. I still remember that, taking pictures from Jan and Tim from behind, like everybody starts behind the ropes.
And as I say, you've been doing this now for 10 years. I would like to say that sidecar cross is probably the world's best kept secret. You've brought sidecar cross into people's front rooms, onto their laptops, onto their TVs. You've brought sidecar cross into people's front rooms, onto their laptops. Can you give us some idea of how many people that you've reached in that time, and obviously if you know how many movies you've made in the past 10 years with sidecar cross?
Oh, movies, that must be hundreds of them. I did not count them. It's almost not possible to count them. I did every championship in Europe, almost done the world championships, but with the digital time, on YouTube you can see everything, and you can see how many minutes people watch it, how many views you have, and like subscribers, I have more than 5,500 on YouTube, and I have more than 4,600,000 views on my movies, so that's not bad for somebody like me who has no website and does everything by myself.
Yeah, and as I say, you don't do this for a living. It's not a job. It's a hobby as such.
Yeah.
But can I ask, obviously, as I say, for in the 10 years of doing this, have you a favourite rider or a favourite team in that time?
Yeah, I had several favourite teams. I started with Jan and Tim, then they got separate, like it is in sidecar cross world. You can't stay together for all of your life. And then I supported both of them. Tim went to Jason Van Dalen, he's a nice guy. Jan ride with Elvis and with Ben van den Boogaard. And then then they stopped, and then I have Velman is a nice guy. I like Brad. We always have fun together, laughing. But a favorite rider, that must be Valentin. I've seen him starting when he was young, and he was something special. He could ride a bike like nobody could ride a bike. He could jump a bike like nobody could jump a bike, and then that happened. Yeah, that's bad luck. And
yeah, as I say, as you quite rightly said, from my personal experience, Valentin was probably the first guy basically who came along and rode a sidecar pretty much like a solo, and it was pretty spectacular to watch, and I know a lot of people have tried to catch up with that, and I say it would be very remiss of us if we didn't wish Valentin well, obviously, for his injuries, and obviously that he can make a full and speedy recovery as soon as possible, really, from that point of view.
Not only admire him as a rider, because nobody come even close to him by riding. But now also when you see everything on the Facebook page of him, the courage that he have, the keep on fighting that's still in him, he's gonna come on top of it, and he's gonna go good in another sport, I'm sure of it.
He is an absolute inspiration
Yeah.
to many people. So again, in the past 10 years you've done lots of miles, lots of kilometers basically. Can you give us some sort of indication of how many miles or kilometers you've done?
Maybe 30,000 a year, 35. Another year it will be 40 when we go to Estonia, Latvia. We did 7 countries in 3 weeks holiday. With go from Estonia, Poland to Switzerland, through Germany to Lithuania. 30, take it or leave it, 30,000 in a year, and that's hard also. But then the traveling, that's you go home from, take out Castelnaudlev is 1,000 kilometers. Come home 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Sleeping, there is no sleeping. It's 5:50. You have to go up and go to work.
Do your day
Yeah,
job?
it's not a hard work that I do, but you have to be there.
Yeah. And again, we've mentioned you don't do this as a job. You don't do it as a living. You've, as we said, you've brought sidecar cross into people's front rooms. Is there? You've seen a few changes in the last 5-6 years. Where do you see sidecar cross being in, say, the next? Well, what's your view on sidecar cross at this moment in time, and what is your view of where sidecar cross will be within the next 10 years?
Changes, a lot of changes. There is not so a lot. Yeah, inside the paddock there is changes, but on the racing it's not almost the same. I find with the times of Happy, Ruprecht, Söderqvist, that's gone. The middle field of the racing is gone. There is a top one, and then you have a huge gap, and then you have all the rest. And before it was Wilmsen and Sergis. I know that's always somebody, but now there is no middle field anymore, and changes for the rest. Some showers at the racing are still cold. Toilets, I find sometimes embarrassing how I see how the toilets are. I think there must be some changes in that, but for the rest, I hope they don't go too far, because young riders, there are not a lot of young riders. You have in Holland Lenfrink, you have in France Prunier, but where do they have to get the money to go far and the time? It's not easy for the time. Riders, yeah, they can fly to Ukraine, and Ukraine was perfect this year. I liked it. I went there, and you can go one time there, but you can't go one from Ukraine to Latvia to Estonia and then back to Spain. The trucks has to be there, the mechanics, everybody works. That's the only thing I'm scared of, that they want to go far and people don't find anyone to stay with the truck. You can go fly from Ukraine back home, go work, but the truck has to stay there.
Yeah.
Somebody has to stay there.
Yeah, and you're quite right that sidecar cross is not like most other sports.
No, they all work except a few exceptions.
Yeah,
but
they all go to work on a Monday or a Tuesday when they get back. So, and to be fair, that has kept the sport really on the ground as such as well, and it is there's lots of good people within sidecar cross as well from it.
But people never have to expect that it's going to be like MXGP or tennis or football. We're a small sport. Even in the side of the motorsport, we're a small sport, and it's not bad. I was at the celebration of 10 times world championships in Holland with Daniel Wilmsen in the beer tent. And it was the middle of the square in Lochem, and we went out, and some young guys came and, oh, what is happening here? I say, don't you know, he's 10 times world championship, he's from your own city. Never heard of him. So we're a small sport, and it's not always bad, but a little bit of more coverage on the big TV screens is always good for sponsoring.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people won't know some of the stuff you also do for organisers. You done some stuff for me whenever we were organising a British Championship. You made some highlights videos, basically, and promotional videos, basically, to allow us to promote our event. And I know you've done that for many people all around Europe, and again, from that point of view, as a personal point of view, it's a big thank you, and it's a big help for what you've done. And I know a lot of people don't know that you have done that in the past.
No, we always try to do it for free. The only thing I sometimes ask, if it's possible, to get on the paddock, and that's something I also want to say to the organizers. Help press people. That are the people that brings the people to your track, your entries. Don't see them as, well, that's somebody who comes in for free. They're not coming for free. Definitely. I don't eat on a Sunday. Now I have time to chat with you, but when Heat 1 is ready, I go run to my computer, edit Heat 1, make sure I'm ready against Heat 2, film Heat 2. On the way home, before I go home, I stay another hour to edit, then I upload, give the computer to my girlfriend. She works on it. We do it all in the van when we drive home. We don't do anything for free. We work for it.
Yeah, we were speaking to Jersey yesterday, and we mentioned to her basically come next February, March, basically whenever the World Championship basically is about to get ready for 2020. What's Luc van der going to be doing on his weekends?
Oh, first weekends when I hear or see on Facebook or something else, Instagram, teams are going to go training, I'm going to go stressed. I know myself, and I have stress and feel bad, but I'm not throwing my camera away. Like when Veldman or Brett or Davy Saunders, they all appreciate me when they phone me and they say, hey Luc, you want to come, Bukel, Spain? First thing I do is I jump in my car, get my camera out, put my drone in the air and film them, and then I'm happy and they are happy. But no more World Championship anymore. It's time for something else. Dutch Championship, maybe the Zwarte Cross, that was my best thing this year. Small racing, when I feel sick and I want to go filming, I jump in my car and 30 minutes later I'm on every federation in Belgium. Get the drone up, put the GoPro on the ground, and I feel good again. I like filming, I like racing, but filming is my hobby.
Yep. Can I ask you then, do you have a favorite track or a favorite tracks or a favorite part of the world where you like to be?
Three favorite tracks. Not in 1, 2, 3, but one of the tracks is Castelnau-Levis. It's fantastic when you come there for the first time and you see them jumping from the top down into nothing. And because I come where other people can't come, and then you see something more, because when you're on the drop off and you see they jump into nothing, it's special. And then Kivioli, that's always a fantastic track. Whoops are great. Perfect. They stay on Friday, they are on Friday, and on Sunday evening you ride home and you look at the whoops when you drive past them, they are still the same. That's how whoops has supposed to be in sidecarcross. They know every lap they come, they are the same. Mm-hmm. And then Langrish, I didn't went much, 3 times to Langrish, but it's a great track. When it's wet, you can't do anything, it's too wet. When it's dry, you don't see anything, it's too dusty, but the atmosphere that's there, the scenery, the track on itself, it's everything is in it. All the people around it, the Ken Hall, the atmosphere was great.
And again, over the years, you've met and made very many good friends.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And again, not only from Belgium, but all around Europe and around the world, pretty much. They know you. Some people don't know you because they just know your name. But some people will, and I've had the pleasure, obviously, of meeting you over the years, and is there any special memories basically in that time, basically?
Oh yeah, we started with Jan and Tim. That is still a good memory, and then they went their own way, and Jan was always one of the top riders in the world, and at the end he was world champion. And that year especially we were happy and everybody was happy, and in that year I could make the FIM for the FIM Gala, the movie, so that was a big honor for a guy like me who had nothing. Mm-hmm. Then we asked at the FIM if we can come, and then we sit at the same table as the World Championship. Met Geyser, met Marquez, that was
Johnny Ray.
yeah, met everybody, and everybody was fun with a nice tie and the smoking, and it was fantastic. I will remember that forever. And the friends I made, like you, when we went to Ireland, was great. We were invited like kings. Still, the parents of Tim and Bart and Thea, we go riding with the bike when we have time. Like next week we're gonna ride our bike, do a tour of 40 kilometers, drink something, have a barbecue. In England I can come always to Chris, the Riley family. We are always welcome there. You make friends everywhere, like Australia.
Yeah.
Your passenger from Brian, he comes to me at home. It's great to have people like that. That's why you do it for, not for the views, for the appreciation, and that's a little bit gone with a lot of teams, and it's enough.
Yeah. Finally, before we sign off, obviously you've got probably one more race that you're going to be definitely at, and that's 3 weeks time at the Sidecar Cross of Nations in Schwedt in Germany.
Yeah.
And again, we keep mentioning about bringing the Sidecar Cross into people's front rooms, and the many thousands of people that you have touched, basically, and people who were involved in the sport many years ago, who have now are able to see that sport again, basically, and be rekindled by what they did over the years. And I say you brought new audiences into Sidecar Cross.
Yeah, I hope so.
And on behalf of those many people, can I thank you personally, obviously, for that time and that commitment. And it's always been a pleasure, look, to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank all the sponsors over the last 2 years. They always helped a little bit when the camera was broken. I don't need to buy it from my own money now. With the sponsors, I want to thank you, and thank all the viewers around the world that watched my movie and always supported me. Hey, look, when you're around the track, that's good, eh? Hey, look, thanks for the movies. Don't need to thank me, eh? That's my hobby, and I like to film, and I give that to them, and that's now finished, but they will see me.
And again, we are at, as I say, we are at Rudersburg for the final GP of 2019 season. And we hope today for a good race, and
we hope so.
And we look forward to seeing movie from the World Championship level. We look forward to seeing Movie Monday for the final time.
Yeah, no, not the final time, the nations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.